drop the carb, and pull it out. Hey guys, Machines of Metal. I was just working on this old plate tamper and an opportunity popped up here to make a YouTube video about something that you might like to know about working on these plate tampers. This is a pretty typical, I think it's called a 100-pound plate. I don't know. But anyway, I have to take the carburetor off. I've actually already had this carburetor off to clean it, and the method of removing it was kind of technical, I guess, in a way. So I thought I'd show you guys how I did it. Maybe it'll save you some trouble down the road when you're working on something like this. I've also run into this problem with some generators. So basically what happens is you'll take the Honda airbox cover, will come off like that, no problem. But then when you go to remove the carburetor, I've already removed the fuel line here, and I've disconnected the governor rod and the anti-flutter spring. When you go to pull this off, it won't come off because it hits this frame right here and it's stuck. You can see that the studs are too long and you're not able to get this carburetor off. You can access the bowl, guys, from straight up the bottom through here. You can get at it, but you can't take the carb off. So if you want to take this carb off, if you're having a hard time getting the main jet out from underneath and you want to put it in the vise to crank on it, you're best to take this carb off to do that job. Anyway, you on this particular machine, this bar is not easy to take off. There's a whole bunch of bolts and there's a pivot hinge, and we're not going to waste our time with that. Here, guys, is a real quick way on how to pop this carb off without much trouble. Alright, so what I like to do in this case is slide the carburetor all the way to the end and take a vice grip, tighten it good and tight onto one of these studs. Usually you only got to do this with one of them, and kind of rock it back and forth like that to allow the teeth to dig into the stud material, and then push down, and there she goes. What you want to do is twist this stud out of the head. Like I said, usually you only got to do this with one of the studs, not both of them. Eventually it'll just fall right out of the head. There she goes. And then you can slide that stud out of there, drop the carb, and pull it out just like that. Then you can get into it, you can work on, do whatever you got to do. And reverse, when you guys put it back together, guys, you just hang the carb from one stud like that. It's going to make a fool out of me. Pop it in, sorry, the first stud, hang the second stud, work it in there, put your gasket back in place, and then just thread this back in using your vice grip right there. Alright, sorry for the fumbling, guys, but at least it's a one-take video, and you see how to take off one of these without taking the whole thing apart. Alright, hit the subscribe button. I'll make some more videos about stuff like this down the road. Thanks for watching.